My name is Nick Galati with Galati Yacht Sales. We've been a top Viking dealer for 30 years, specializing in the product sales and service. Personally, in addition to growing up in our family business, I've been full-time in sales with our company going on 10 years and have had the opportunity to represent buyers and sellers in hundreds of transactions, new, used, production, custom, center console to motor yacht. But I must admit, my passion is sport fishing and sport fishing boats, so we're going to get into a little bit of that today, outlining a premier Galati listing of ours, which is a 2011 70 Viking called Last Call. So the 70 Viking in general is a really special offering. If you look at the size, the functionality of the boat, the performance of it, the layout, everything you get with it, it really is a very popular product. It was then, it is now. The 70 Viking was in production from about 2010 to about 2016. And if you look at the boats that were built around this 2010 mark, I really do believe it was a turning point for a lot of builders. During the economic recession, starting in 2008, a lot of builders did have to pump the brakes or even stop operations completely. Viking held the course, they kept pushing, they invested heavily in their design, their R&D, and if you look at the boats that came out after that time, including the 70 Viking, which was one of the first, it really is a leader in its class. It's 125,000 pounds, 4 stateroom, 5 head. It's got the day head, it's got the crew access to the engine room. It only draws 5.5 feet, but it's a very fast, very fishable, functional fishing boat, but it's also got the size and capability to really go anywhere and do anything that you might want to do in any boat out there. So it really is a great offering for a lot of people. And getting into this boat specifically, which is the 2011 70 Viking Last Call, what really inspired us to make this video, the boat tells a great story. If you look at a lot of the intangibles that come into the details of buying and selling some of these boats, a lot of it is hard to tell just from simply looking at a listing. This boat is located in Cartagena. When we originally came to market with this boat, it was down in Cartagena. Cartagena is obviously an international location, a little bit of travel getting involved. I've been there numerous times. It's actually fairly convenient to get to. For you all coming from Florida, there is a direct flight out of Miami straight to Cartagena. You land, the boat itself is only about 20 minutes from the marina. And it is actually a beautiful and historic city. I've had great experiences there, had some great meals, see the sights, go down, come back the next day. I'll happily accompany anybody that's interested in seeing the boat down there and would look forward to that opportunity. Getting back into the history of Last Call, she was originally built as Elfina, spent the majority of her time then in the Bahamas. She was purchased by the second owner based out of Fort Lauderdale and named Last Call, and purchased by the third owner who kept the name Last Call in 2019, which brings us to today. One thing I'd really like to hit on with Last Call is the condition of the boat. It's been very well maintained. The boat shows well in every area. Well updated, new electronics in 2019. 3,000-hour service is being done now proactively. All the headliners and the wall liners were just completely replaced to maintain a sharp appearance on the interior. The engine room is extremely clean. Every bilge and mechanical space is clean and well organized. And the reason, of course, is the boat's current ownership. I've gotten to know the sellers. They're wonderful people. They own a multi-generational family business in power generation, so they're very well versed in the proper way to maintain and operate equipment. So one thing I'd like to point out, which is unique with this boat, unfortunately it's not very commonplace in the marine industry. We have the records here of nearly anything that's been done on the boat since the current owners have it. I do have some previous records even from before they've owned it as well, but this to me should be commonplace in the marine industry. Unfortunately, it's not. We have the dates of any of the work that's been done, the description of the work, part numbers, the number of hours when the work was completed. At the time of this video, Last Call has about 2,880 hours, which I would consider light use for a 2011 Sportfish. The 70 Viking was offered with power packages from 1550 MANs to 2,600 horsepower MTUs. Last Call is powered by 16-cylinder M91s. They're rated at 2,030 horsepower, which gives her economical cruise between 28 and 31 knots. This generation Viking does offer improved performance and updated design features similar to the current models in production. Of course, being a 2011 does come at a much lower entry point. I'd encourage you to consider Last Call. Please feel free to give me a call on my cell, and I look forward to discussing this opportunity with you directly.